Hey everyone, this is Will. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you a really good business idea. Honestly, I don't even want to give this out because it is so good, and I really feel like there isn't much competition. Actually, if you are going to be interested in pursuing this, I might leave a link that if you're interested, perhaps we can collaborate on this. So do check out the description. Also, do check out the description. I'm going to leave some useful links, everything I mentioned here, and I have some very useful freebies that can help out with your business. So check out the description. If you're listening to this as a podcast, take the title, put it on YouTube, find the video. I do a giveaway every single week where I give out one of my courses completely for free. So just smash the thumbs up button and leave a comment to enter the competition. Now let's get into the episode. So pretty much every single good business out there is focused on solving a big problem. And one of the biggest problems that I know for sure pretty much every business is facing, every business owner, is hiring people for their business. Not everyone knows how to do that, or not everyone knows how to do that. It is sort of a skill itself to hire someone. So let's say if I have a business and I want to do email marketing, then I am going to find digital marketers that focus on email marketing and they know how to do email marketing, because I can't know all of the different things by myself. And exactly same thing comes when it comes to hiring people. And by the way, I'm going to explain this whole idea. I'm not going to just tell you what the idea is. I am going to actually tell you what are the different steps, how you can approach this, and basically how I would go about creating business out of this idea and all of the different steps. So it's going to be very useful for you to get some ideas, not just the business idea, but how to actually go throughout the whole process. So as I was saying, and I'm sorry, I do have a little bit ADD, so I tend to jump from thing to thing. Basically, every single company needs to hire people, and if you're a big company, that's why you have HR departments, that's why you have headhunters, so on and so forth. However, when you are a small company, you can't really afford to have those resources, and most of the time it's the CEO, the founder, whatever you want to call them. Those are the people that are figuring out who to hire. And again, as I said, hiring people is a skill in itself, and believe me, it's very time requiring, and you really need to kind of understand how to do it. And usually you learn that through time, through trial and error, and it's pretty expensive to make a lot of these mistakes. So I don't know if I need to be selling more how big of an issue this is, and there's definitely a gap for that. And one thing why I like this business idea is because I haven't really seen some kind of service or a platform that does hiring for people, that basically does this for small companies or even individuals. And this is exactly where I would start out with if I was pursuing this. So I think I would try to really narrow down to just one sort of position. So basically I would say one of the things that pretty much everyone out there needs when they are starting out an online business is to have a virtual assistant. So I would build out a website that basically finds the right virtual assistants for people. First of all, that's really narrowed down. It's very focused on what exactly you are doing. And because you are just focusing on virtual assistants, it doesn't have to be virtual assistants. Virtual assistants, I think that's the first thing that pops into my mind, because that's pretty much it. Everyone needs that. It could also be social media managers. It could also be content writers, whatever it actually is. But let's say we started out from virtual assistants, so we're very focused. And once you sort of build out the structure how to find a virtual assistant, then it's going to become very easy. So you don't need to, if you're basically finding all of these different positions to fill in, the social media manager, the copywriter, so on and so forth, it does differ a little bit by every single position. So having the one to start out with, it's going to make my job very, very easy. So the first little tip, what I would do, there are actually a few different websites where you can find people to hire. But basically I would go to onlinejobs.ph, which I absolutely love. You can find some really, really good talent for a very, very cheap price. Again, I will leave a link. It is an affiliate link, but if you appreciate this business idea, do use it. I would appreciate that. So I would go there, and basically, so one posting there costs it costs $70 per month. You get 3 job listings. But if you buy the higher plan, it is, I believe, 10 job postings for $100 a month. So just think about it from that point already. If, let's say, you have 10 businesses that are buying the subscription just to put the job posting, they're already going to be spending $70. Whereas if you buy this one subscription, you can do 10 postings for 10 different companies, and that's only going to cost you $100. So here, you're already $600 basically in profit. So then I would create a system that allows me to sort of easily collect all of the necessary information. So once you are in talks with someone, trying to find them the right virtual assistant, you need to understand certain things about their business to find the best fit for them. So I would basically ask them what are all of the different skills, and ask them what are some of the different example tasks, because a lot of skills, they might be sort of more or less the same, but when it comes to tasks, this is really where you want to narrow things down, and also what kind of niche the business is, because that can also determine which virtual assistant might be the best fit. So I would create this little bit of a framework that would basically help out that business person to fill out all of these things pretty easily. So they don't need to sit down, and they don't need to, they don't even know where to start, and they think about, okay, how do I go about explaining all of these things? You need to make it very, very simple and easy. So I would have certain examples, I would have certain things they can choose from, so on and so forth. But basically have this core information of what exactly this specific person or business needs from a virtual assistant. So once you have the system, it will kind of help you a lot as well in terms of creating a job posting. And once I have that, then I can go through the process of finding a virtual assistant. And there's a lot of different ways as well how you can make the process of hiring someone much easier and a lot more automated. I'm not going to go into that right now in this episode, but there are definitely certain steps that I would take to just make sure that I am automating everything. And I guess this is one of these kind of things that basically economy of scales, where if someone just does this one time, for them to create this whole system and to actually master it and all of that, it takes a long time. So for them to hire a virtual assistant, it might take, let's say, 50 hours. But for you, because you have this whole system already planned out, it might only take, let's say, 10 hours. I would probably also set up different pricing plans. So let's say I could have a pricing plan where I just provide the best fitting virtual assistant. I would probably give sort of a trial period as well. So let's say for 1 week, if something doesn't really work with the virtual assistant, because usually you want to have sort of people ranked out, you want to have a few top candidates. So if it doesn't work with the first assistant, then I would check if the second option was available, and then connect those virtual assistant to that specific person. So basically just make sure that the client is actually happy. And if the client really wants to go a little bit further, perhaps I would have sort of a plan where I do a little bit of testing. So I do some example tasks where these virtual assistants have to perform these different tasks, and then I would use different tools such as, let's say, Hubstaff. Again, I will leave a link for that. But basically test out how exactly these virtual assistants are performing and sort of calculate what is the best return on investment. And based on these exact numbers, I would find and show to that person that, hey, this is the virtual assistant that's fitting you the best, and this is how much time it takes them to perform these tasks, and so on and so forth. This is how they compare to other virtual assistants. So basically create this little presentation, and I think that would really be selling the service really well. On top of that, you can create additional products and services. So perhaps I would create certain digital products that go along that people could actually use with their virtual assistants, such as specific working systems that they can use within their project management software, within, let's say, Notion, whatever it actually is. Perhaps you can even create some sort of informational product where you explain step by step how to work with virtual assistant and all of that kind of stuff. Another service that I think would be pretty popular as well is you do get a virtual assistant, and obviously it saves you a lot of time and all of that, but you also want to monitor how well they are performing and whether they're doing their job well, and that honestly requires so much time. And again, if you're just a one person, it's difficult to actually hire someone to do that and to manage that. Unless you're a big company, you won't really have sort of, let's call it product manager. So basically, you could upsell a service as well where you are actually helping them out with this issue as well. Once they have already hired that virtual assistant, you make sure that basically the person or the business, they're assigning the task for virtual assistant, and you are just making sure that the virtual assistant is doing everything in the most effective way, the most efficient way, and things are actually getting done and all of that. So that takes a lot from the shoulders of that person or that business, and that would be, I think, very useful as well. And you can just have monthly fee, and that would be a recurring monthly fee, which is, you know, always great to have recurring income coming in. There's also a lot of additional benefits that come into this. So for example, as you are going through all of these different virtual assistants, you can sort of start creating your own database. So you don't even need to perhaps post that many job postings because you already have database of your own virtual assistant. So let's say, you find someone that is amazing virtual assistant, but perhaps they don't fit that person that the job posting was for, because they might be in slightly different niche and another virtual assistant might fit them better. But then the next person that is looking for a virtual assistant, that virtual assistant might be a great basically fit for them. So you can really create this database that's going to save even more time, and you don't really need to even pay for the job postings or anything like that. So then you can really automate this even more and scale this even more, make it faster and more efficient. So why I like this is because, first of all, as I said, I don't really see anyone really doing this. There really seems to be a gap in the market. And also, one thing that I have noticed myself, that a lot of people don't really understand. They think that, especially for people that have very small business, maybe it's one person business, but they are already making decent money, they don't really think that they can hire someone because A, maybe they don't really know how to do it, which is the problem that we're trying to solve, or B, they just think they can't really afford it because they think that they will need to spend maybe a couple $1,000s or something like that. But again, if you go to the sites that I actually recommended and you're outsourcing abroad and you're not doing it in, let's say, United States or Europe, then you can really get some very cheap workforce that is also very good, high quality. So I think for all the people, if you show to them that, hey, you can get full-time virtual assistant for just a few $100s, or sometimes you don't even need to get the virtual assistant to be full-time, you can do it part-time as well. then I think a lot of people can actually convert. So you might need to do a little bit of education, but I think it will be pretty easy to convert a lot of people into trying this out and hiring someone, especially if you show to them, hey, every single business, if you're doing it by yourself, there are certain tasks that don't really require your time. You could easily outsource them, and someone else could easily do that, and it's really not worth your time. If you, let's say, make certain amount of money per hour, this is how you value your time. Let's say you value your time at $50 per hour, or even $20 per hour, whatever it is. You can definitely find a virtual assistant that is going to do the same work, maybe even on a better level, for half or a quarter of that. So it really is just logical. It's just good return on investment for you to have a virtual assistant. So this is a thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, and they're afraid to take that step. They don't really know how to take that step. So you try and help them out with all of these hurdles. When it comes to marketing this as well, I like this because I think there are so many different ways that you can do. You can do content marketing, you can create a referral program if you're actually providing really good service, and I feel like this can help out people so much. You can have a referral program, so they will refer you to all of their friends. You can have affiliate program, you can pretty much do whatever. There are a lot of different ways how I would market this. And eventually, as I said, I would start out with maybe just focusing, okay, I'm just doing virtual assistants and that is it. And then from there, I would maybe increase, expand. So I would do then maybe social media managers, maybe content writers, whatever it really actually fits. So I would probably need to do a little bit of research to see what people are looking to hire the most, and perhaps what is the most difficult to hire as well. But yeah, I hope this was useful. I think this is a really great opportunity that is surprisingly missing right now in the market. Do let me know if you have any questions. If you're listening to this as a podcast, then just take the title, put it on YouTube, find a video, and leave your questions in the description. As I said, I'm going to leave some links of the things that I mentioned. I actually even have discounts for some of these softwares. So all of the links, all other useful information, everything in the description. So check out all of those links. If you find this useful, make sure to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, put on those notifications, stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.